there, televiewers. We trust that you're having a great weekend. Well, thank you so much for joining us on yet another edition of The Diary. Now, motivational speaker, that's the new title thrown around by many nowadays, and there's a growing number of persons in this group. So who are motivational speakers really, and how do you become one? Also, a very important question, are motivational speakers really motivational? Well, that's what we're discussing in today's edition of The Diary. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching The Diary on STV, and our subject for this weekend is motivational speaking. And of course, on set with me, some motivational speakers who are going to shed some light on what motivational speaking really is. Let me begin with the lone lady on set with us today. Her name, Petula B. You've seen her before on the show. Yeah. And she's a humanitarian. And she tells me to be a humanitarian, you first need to be a motivational speaker. She says it's impossible to separate the two, which is why she's here today. She's also a youth trainer and of course a motivational speaker and the CEO, the very proud CEO of Mumah Designs. Petula, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Manda, and I'm so happy to be here again today. We're talking about motivational speaking.
Exactly.
And I said, you reverse it. I said,
oh, okay. So let's be correct. Right?
Yes, it's difficult for you to be a humanitarian without being a motivational, without speaking motivationally.
Right.
So because when you're a humanitarian, you now have to encourage people, you know, how to tell people what you are doing, why you're doing it, and how you have been doing it. Right. And then all that got put together is your experience, and then as you move forward, you actually see people who are weaker than you, who are not able to take a step, and so you're able to tap them on the back. You're able to tell them that this is the step I took when I was in a kind of situation like this. This is what I did, and I was able to make it. You can also do it.
So that's how you motivate and inspire.
Yes.
Right. She's not alone on set, of course. Two gentlemen with her. Let me start with Fongu Favor. He prefers to be called that way. You know what? I'm just going to read off your book. He's an author. He recently published a book. It's just a month old, named Mind Shift. Exactly. And I'm reading from your book. To introduce you, it says you are commonly known as Fongu Favor. Your original name's Fongu N-A-T-B, and you're a pastor, a teacher, a leadership trainer, a youth coach, a professional certified public speaker. I can go on for a couple of minutes. The founder of Mindshift Consultancy, pardon me, and that you're also a prince from the royal family in Songwa. It's good to have you. It's the first time I'm receiving a prince on The Diary.
Thank you very much, Manda. It's a pleasure being here.
Great. Now, last but definitely not the least, on the show today, Philemon Mbale. He's an inspirational speaker. He insists on inspirational speaking and not motivational speaking. Probably explain why in the course of the show. He's also a journalist and still a journalist, a communicator. Of course, if you're a journalist, you're definitely communicating, and a businessman. Philemon Mbale, welcome back. It's been a while.
Indeed, it's been a while. I think the last time I showed up on The Diary, that was in 2018, prior to my travels. And I think it has grown in strength and in bound. It's really tackling most of the pertinent, societal issues in our country, Cameroon. So I really say I'm very pleased to be back again and to talk about something that, like you said, is making the headlines popping up here and there. And of course, like I always say, there's a reason why you see so many motivational and inspirational speakers popping up right now. On the other side of the coin, we are equally seeing an increase in the number of social injustices, in the number of social ills, people losing their jobs, insecurity, and so there is that need for a crop of fine, motivational or inspirational speakers.
Of course, we're going to dig into that more in the course of the show. So let's get to it then. I'm going to start with the first question. Question to me is logical. Who is a motivational speaker? Let me start with you, Favor. Who is a motivational speaker?
Yes, a motivational speaker is someone who inspires
Okay.
who challenges, and who brings out the energy in people to help them achieve a particular goal or a particular task. So motivational speakers can meet you discouraged, and through their motivations, you gain some courage. A motivational speaker can meet you weak, meet you with low self-esteem, and help you build a good self-esteem. So they have a lot to do with taking people from a lower level of achievement to a higher level of achievement. That's, in a summary, who a motivational speaker is. So they don't just motivate, they inspire, they challenge you to become better than they met you.
Right. Now, Petula, pardon me, as you were explaining at the start of the very start of the show, your side of the motivational speaking comes with a twist because you are a humanitarian.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you are supposed to be a motivational speaker, yeah, you're supposed to. I actually think everybody is supposed to be a motivational speaker.
Okay.
Because if you want to, let's say back at home, you encourage your children. In class, if you're a teacher, you have to encourage the students. Even here, even in the vehicle, you need to encourage other people. So everybody needs encouragement at one moment in time as we move through this life journey.
Okay.
So at some point, you either find yourself needing somebody to encourage you, or you being a shoulder for somebody to lean on. So it's unfortunate that sometimes they take some people motivational speakers, because I didn't know I was one until somebody made a write-up about me and called me a motivational speaker. But then it's just that you're supposed to identify a problem in society, and then you see you can look for a solution, and you don't just keep it to yourself, you decide to write it out. And most commonly, since nearly everybody uses Facebook, for example, you can publish it. You can even have a group of people, you tell them about something that has happened to you or how you overcame it. You're excited about it, you want to tell somebody. It becomes a motivation automatically. Sometimes somebody comes to you with a problem and you need to propose a solution, or even if you don't have a solution, you need something to tell the person to hang on to for the moment while you look for the solution, or while you get to somebody that could provide the solution. That intermediary action, it's a motivation. So I think when each time you have an audience, they want that audience to see or do something differently, you are being a motivation.
But isn't there a difference between the man on the street, the woman on the street who motivates, you know, and the person who does it professionally, who even makes their life, who earns their daily bread from speaking and motivating people? Isn't there a difference between the two, though?
The difference comes in when you choose to take it as a profession.
Okay.
Therefore, you have to train yourself, you have to look for courses, you have to attend in order to improve on your skills, like your communication skills, the kind of audience to talk to, the kind of language you use at a particular time, the type of person, the person facing you with a particular problem, you don't use the same language. Well, yeah, different people, different languages, and different kind of, that's according to the audience you have. If you want to take it like a profession, you need to train on that. Now, if you just want to, like I said, everybody is a motivational speaker. Sometimes you are motivating without even knowing you are motivating. But now, once you identify that you have that gift of motivating people or of encouraging people, you can take it as a profession. So you train yourself on that. There are a lot of courses online that you can take. There are people so that you can contact them if you want to do that, and they'll train you actually, and you become a professional in that, so that you actually know what to tell what audience.
All right. Now, to you, Bale, you say you're an inspirational speaker and not a motivational speaker. I'm interested in the difference, because I read while I was preparing for the show that motivational speakers are also referred to as inspirational speakers. So where's the difference? Where does the difference lie?
All right, I think I will use this opportunity to try to delve a little deeper into the subject.
Okay.
Now, get this formula. Motivation plus inspiration equals progress/success. So that's motivation plus inspiration equals progress/success. I'll always use examples.
Is that yours? Is it originally yours?
It's. I mean, we do a lot of studying. We do a lot of. I can quote you so many speakers, public speakers, who go by this formula.
Okay.
So the point is, motivation. It's a little bit superficial. It's a little bit, Manda, you're a good journalist. You have the qualities of a journalist. You can work for CNN. I'm motivating you. You can one day work for CNN. Okay?
I don't think my bosses would like to hear that, but
no, it's just an example, though. It's just an example.
Of course, I know.
It's just an example. But I think your bosses will be proud to see you on CNN, by the way.
I think so too.
So the point is, I'm telling you that you have the qualities to work for CNN. I'm motivating you. Now, inspiration goes a little further. Manda, there is this course online. If you take this course, you apply to do internship at Africa News, for example. You pitch side text stories using this link to CNN. You pitch cultural stories from Cameroon to CNN using this link. You stand a better chance of working for CNN. I don't know if you see the difference.
Of course.
Inspiration gives you the possibility, the step by step. If you go this way, you can achieve this. That's why I said there's motivation plus inspiration. That is the guided steps, how to move from point A, how to move from a devastated position, mood, to another position of well-being and happiness. So that's just basically, to me and to many others, that is the difference between motivating someone. Now let me use this. I always say this. Imagine if you motivate a fool, permit my language, what do? You get a motivated fool. But if you inspire a fool, he can stop smoking. If you inspire a fool, he can move from point A to point B by showing him the various steps. Hey, if you take this step, the process, basically. So I think generally, to me, that's why I always insist. Of course, the terms can be interchangeably used. I should put it that way. It has, as the case has always been. But if you go detailedly, there's a little difference between an inspirational speaker and a motivational speaker. Both of them are communicators. Both of them are public speakers. But then one takes the relay from another. You motivate, I inspire, and together we get the result, which is progress or /success, like I said. Okay.
And in spite of our theme for the day, just bear in mind that the discussion would concern both motivational and inspirational speakers. The idea is to get everyone to understand a little bit what happens in that world. I have a question I've been burning to ask since the whole fire on motivational speakers started. Can someone, you who does it professionally, a favor, can someone who is a motivational speaker, who is not, I'm using an example, successful, because success is subjective, depends on your personal view of what success is. If you're teaching people how to be rich, for example, can you be poor and teach someone how to get rich and motivate a person to become rich?
Actually, I believe that in motivational speaking, your story is the first motivation to your audience.
Okay.
Your story inspires and motivates them. So it is, you can read, you have people who say they're motivational speakers, they go on YouTube, they get some videos, they watch and come and talk to people. It might, motivate someone, but I tell you that the results will not be the same. The impact on the listeners or on your audience will never be the same like someone who has actually gone through that road and has succeeded in that road. So you can motivate people by, theoretically. Yes, someone might come to your show, come to your conference, and wow, from what you read, from what you watch, and the person gets inspired or gets motivated. But I tell you, if that same person knows that you have gone through that road and you have succeeded, the result or the impact on that person will be more. So you can actually motivate somebody when you have not maybe succeeded that much, but the impact, if you have succeeded, will be more.
But my question is this: if the motivation works as good as it should, because if you're teaching people, if you're helping people to walk a particular path, and it's because you believe it can actually help them. If you strongly believe that it can help this person, how is it that it has not helped you first?
Good. That's what the other Mbale, I think. Yes, my first time meeting him. That's where inspirational speaking comes in. And anybody can motivate you, independent of what he has achieved.
Okay.
Wow, you are discouraged. Be encouraged, you can make it, and you go your way. I don't need to know, just those words can motivate me to start going. But now, since motivational speaking go with inspirational speaking, in some cases, the inspirational speaker now comes in to give you the strategies. I have been through this road. So do like this, and you reach here because I have gone that road, that way. But a motivational speaker who has not gone that way will just give you those words of encouragement, but cannot really inspire you to achieve what you want to achieve or what you desire to achieve.
Okay, Betula, what's your opinion on that question?
My answer is no.
Why?
It's impossible that you'll be telling me, proposing a solution to me that has never been a solution to you. And that's the reason why there's something that most people use that sometimes I get to, when I'm discussing with people, I talk about quotes. Yeah. Quotes you use, whether they are motivational quotes, they are inspirational quotes or whatever. I just say that for somebody to develop a quote, it depends on the environmental conditions, what the person was passing through at that moment, the person's emotions at that moment. So you just copy and paste, and you tell me, don't give up. And they tell me about one story that somebody in US had a big firm, and one day caught fire. He never. So I asked somebody one day. Somebody sent that to me, and I asked him that, what about me? I wrote books. When I had to publish the books, the crisis began and everything went down the drain. I had no money at all. You talk about somebody that has been working with banks and he has a lot of assets, and even that one burns. There are other things I can use as collateral. Me, I have no collateral. So how do I start again? That was the end of it. There were no answers. So you don't propose solutions to people when you have not passed through them. That I can say. Let me not be cruel, but I think it's fake. When you like Mr. Fongo said, it's your story. That is why for you to be motivational or inspirational, it's not something that you just start and jump into it. It's not books that you go and read and you come and tell people that in this book, you start quoting people. I just get angry with that one. So when you start quoting that this person said this, I just leave you there. And then, like, for example, if I want to read his book, once I have the first lesson in that book, I stop reading and I practice it. I see whether it works or not. If it's something that I have to use to, let's say, to teach people on how to acquire skills, I try first. I look at my program, very tight schedule. With this, I know that time is so elastic. If I insert this, will I be able to acquire this skill? And then I can encourage another lady. Yes, my time is elastic. All these things you do, I also do them. But then this is how you can get up at this time. This is how you can program your work. And you can't do this and it will work. So that question is a no. Okay. Yeah. All right. And is it a yes or a no for you, Mbale?
It's a yes and a no, depending on the circumstance. I think we've had instances where people help others move from point A to B without necessarily using that route. There are several formulas, there are several schemes, and that will bring us later on into personal development, which I think it's the steps, like I said, to move from point A to point B, which is very important. So, I've lectured on leadership, but I cannot say I've really had a huge leadership role in an organization, but I've lectured, I've assembled leaders and given them lectures. So I do not necessarily need to leave the experience at the helm of an organization as a leader to learn the lessons of leadership. And now, back in the days, our mothers did not necessarily need to get certificates in rural sciences before teaching us basic household behaviors and things to do at home. I want to believe.
Right, so, but they lived it. Maybe they didn't go to school to learn, but they were taught by someone. My question as a follow-up, Mbale, will be this. Where do you pick the content of these discourses you have, of these training seminars? Where do you pick the content from? If you haven't actually experienced being a leader what do you teach? The things you teach them, where do they come from?
Not everything you teach comes as a result of a reflection of your life. We have to be exceptionally honest about it. Not everything. In majority of the times, of course, there are situations where I introduce myself as a storyteller because I always tell people my story, and it works for me. It may not work for you, but I'm telling you, try it, use it. It has worked for others. It may work for you. So the point is, like I say, I always use my story. Like I said, between June and August, I said to myself, hey, why not get a goal of getting becoming a millionaire? And I put the various steps, and guess what? It worked. So confidently, I tell people that story, that it is possible. It happened for me, and if it can happen for you. Getting $1 million francs does not necessarily mean that I had to study or I had to do something concerning money, finance. Yeah. No, there were some basic steps which I took, and it led me to the jackpot, which I can propose to you. Not necessarily it being a financial concept, no. Just a little change in activities and environment and lifestyle could drop you to that point. So it comes back to what I'm saying, that at one point in time you could meet someone whose story is a reflection, whose whose teaching is a reflection of their lifestyle,
right? And
it works. And then another situation can come up where you read from a book, I can use I can simply use your story as my presentation to help someone else. So I did not leave your story, but I got your story and I can use it to help someone else. So it works in some cases, and in other cases it wouldn't work.
Okay, so this discussion so far is leading me to the next question. Is it possible, even remotely, to dissociate or to separate a person, a motivational speaker's professional life from his personal life? Is it possible? Because I'm asking myself, can you come tell me, do not smoke because it's bad for your health when you smoke? Is it possible to separate, to dissociate the two, the professional life and the personal life of a motivational speaker? Let me start with you, Favor.
Actually, like I said, in motivational speaking, when you use your story or your life, it gives weight to what you're saying or what you're doing. Telling me not to smoke when you are smoking, I might think you're a clown. Yes. But if I don't know that you are smoking and you come to me and you tell me not to smoke, I will be like, why? And if you give me reasons good enough, I will. But if I discover that you are smoking, it will be a problem to me, because I will be like, you're telling me not to do this and I am doing this. So your lifestyle actually is a support, a very strong support to what you're telling people. Yes, a very strong support. So actually, to me, I don't, or I can't separate my personal life from what I tell others. Because like I'm a pastor, like Paul would say, the things you have seen and heard from me, do the same. It's not like do what I say and don't do what I do. No, it is do what you see me do, because it has worked for me, it is working for me, and it can work for you.
Good.
Yes.
And I think this is only going to buttress your point, Petula, that you cannot sell an idea that you have not bought yourself.
Yes, and at some point, you can't separate. For example, when you were ignorant of that idea, yes, you couldn't separate. Now, if it becomes you become addicted to it, or you have had an effect from it that you can no longer correct, then you can be telling someone, let me get an example. The one who's smoking, you will probably say, how can you tell me not to smoke when you're still smoking? Let me get an example. Somebody who is polygamous, a man who had 5 wives, now telling their sons, please don't get married to more than 1 wife.
Okay.
Because he cannot send away the wives, but he knows that it is very, very challenging. So at some point, you can't separate, especially when you're telling a story to your children. Like, you want to encourage your daughter. When I was a youth, my mother used to talk to me not to do this, I used to do it, and this is the problem I had. This is what I had as a consequence. So don't do this because you're going to obviously have a consequence, even if it's not the same like my own.
Yeah.
It might even be worse than mine. So now you cannot correct that. You cannot separate the fact that you had that history.
Yeah.
But you can correct it. You can correct another person's own. So while life is really a journey, and sometimes, like you're saying, you cannot live separately from who you are, but sometimes you are supposed to be completely separate from who you are.
Okay.
Just like if you and your business are supposed to be two different people. Now, if you want to talk about, if you want to talk about business, the language you use is different. Now, I want to talk about me and you and I as friends, and that we discuss differently too. So I think it depends on the level, what is actually happening, what the type of thing you need to correct.
Right. Except that in this situation, Male, I'm addressing this question to you. Well, the same question in any case. Except that in this situation, you are in the business of helping people learn something. So your business or your professional life is teaching people to achieve goals. So how, again, I return, will you teach people to achieve goals that you have not achieved yourself? How do you live personally as somebody who has not achieved anything, and professionally be the man who is telling people how to achieve everything? It's possible to put the two together.
Well, let me understand well. Is it?
It's very simple.
Yes.
Is it possible to separate? Is it even logical that as a motivational speaker, your life should be different from your personal life should be different from your professional life?
Well, I always like to be in the middle.
Okay.
Because instances in life will put you where you won't imagine being there. I mean, I can associate with smokers just so I can infiltrate their circle and then have that opportunity to tell them not to smoke or why they should not smoke. So in that case, I'm not a smoker, but I can associate myself with smokers. I can even hang out with them while they are smoking, and then gradually I start introducing my concept of, hey gentlemen, smoking is not good. So in that case, we can say that we can separate the two.
Okay.
Then most of the cases, you cannot give what you don't have.
Exactly.
Like we always say,
Okay.
you cannot give what you don't have. And there's just not one way of having things. I mean, the knowledge I have is not necessarily exclusively by life's experiences. I can hear your story and I keep it. I can hear your story and I keep it. And I use it subsequently to help someone else in a probably totally different context or situation. So it's about flexibility. Like I said, at one point in time, you can dissociate your personal life with what you preach, and at another point in time, you just have to represent what you preach. So for me, it's just to know how to
find a middle ground.
Find a middle ground. Yeah.
Okay, right, that's clear. Now, my next question is why? Because in Cameroon, the past couple of years, 2, maybe 3 or 4 years, the number of motivational speakers has been growing. The numbers are swelling on a daily. The person you knew yesterday tomorrow has become a motivational speaker. Why this growth in the number? Why this increase in the number of motivational speakers in Cameroon all of a sudden?
Looking at our country, for the past 4 years now, we have been in a crisis. The crisis in the northwest and the southwest region. People are discouraged, no hope anymore. Life is difficult, and people need this motivation. A lot of people talk down on motivational speakers, but I think they have a part to play, though there are some excesses. But looking at our country, we see that a lot has been happening. Coupled with the coronavirus that came in, a lot of people have given up on life. You will not believe this. People have given up on their goals. People are discouraged. They don't know how tomorrow will be. So at times, the only thing that they need to hear are words of encouragement, words of motivation that can assure them that there is life ahead. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So I think this rise is because of the circumstances we have found ourselves in the past four years.
Okay. Do you agree, Petula?
Yeah, but I want to add something.
Okay.
I think for the past 4 or 5 years, as you're saying, apart from the crisis, people have gotten used to the internet. That there's such a lot of information. So the motivational speaking is a very old thing. It's something that from like Bale was saying, our parents never went to school. But if you can remember the kind of advice your grandfather gave you, your grandmom gave you. Sometimes when you're faced with a challenge, you remember that. You remember what she told you, and you're able to move on. That was motivation. I think motivation is really as old as the world itself. In scriptures, you find a lot of motivation.
Of course.
Like, Pastor is here. Yeah. Sometimes people have taken out their time to carve out, to bring out scriptures. If you are discouraged, read John this. If you are sad, read Psalm this. If you are this, read that. And all that is motivation. So what I think is that Cameroonians are seeing it now so new because we just got into internet. Few years back, some people, it's now that we are really getting into it. And then we have known about other motivational speakers, and so we follow them, their pages, and we see what they do, and we try to build ourselves. We try to, and it's helping. Something that is not helping will not have people look down on that. So most often I don't even look at that. It's very important to look at the negative criticism so that if you are doing something that you need to improve on or divert from or change from, you do. It's very important. But then if you are just doing it and you don't even know, you're just doing it for, I don't know. Because I don't think somebody will have time and data to go online and just be writing for nothing without seeing that there is an improvement or is helping somebody. People do receive calls. The critics come, but you sleep at night, somebody is calling you, somebody is knocking at your door. And if sometimes you only realize that you have been motivational when people start calling. When people start coming with those issues that are challenging. And then you said, hey, I talked about this, and some people write you. You wrote about this, and they come to your inbox. How do we solve this problem? Sometimes you were just writing, and then somebody somewhere had a problem, saw it as a problem, and then you need to go back and do research on how to solve that problem. And people put ideas together. So I think motivation is not new. It's new because we are getting more into internet now, and we are identifying a lot of great motivational speakers in Europe, US, especially US. There are a lot of them. Then we are getting their books too, the soft copies. We can download, some are free, we can download and read, and then we see how to help, even with the crisis we're talking about. Yeah, okay. That's it.
Right. And Bala, you would agree that many Cameroonians are making a business out of it. It's become the daily struggle, hustle of many a young person today in Cameroon.
Yes, but we have to be careful. Okay. We have to be careful. We need to differentiate between those who go for fame, those who go for popularity, and those who go for progress, impact. There's a clear demarcation there. I mean, if you call yourself a motivational speaker or an inspirational speaker, I just need to scroll through your Facebook page and I can very easily tell if this is a serious person or not. Because most of the times, I mean, people ask me, I would like to say this, that for the past 1 year and 3 months, every morning I've been sending inspirational and motivational messages to a list of my contacts. Anyone who is watching, who is on that list, will testify for 1 year. And it's about consistency, because the goal is to impact. The goal is not to get likes on Facebook. The goal is not just to be popular. The goal is to have a meaning. So you will see, of course, everywhere on the internet, you find everybody, most people, I shouldn't say everybody, wear the cap, tag themselves as motivational speakers. They do copy and paste. They have the likes. In most cases, they have the likes, they have the followers. But then when you want to quantify and qualify the impact of what they are doing, they are nowhere to be mentioned. You wouldn't see them in seminars doing presentations. You wouldn't see them doing voluntary services, speaking to communities. I mean, these are things we do, but we don't put them up.
Okay.
So you're very correct to say that it is popping up everywhere. But like I said, the difference is in the meaning and not in the popularity.
Okay, so now that we're talking about the difference, I was going to ask that a little later on, but since we are talking about it, why not? Let's get into it already. So how do you identify the real professionals from the fraudsters? Because there are fraudsters, in my opinion, trying to make money out of it, trying to get fame, trying to get the likes and the followers. So how do you differentiate the professionals from the fraudsters?
Okay, like Mbale just said, one of the first things is consistency.
Okay.
Consistency is a very powerful tool. If it is your thing, no matter the hurdles you meet in passing that thing out, you will continue doing that. Okay. So consistency is very important. Secondly, I'll talk on training. Yes. God has invested so much in us, and it is still in its crude form. And when you discover that this is my area, or this is what I like to do, I like to help people, one of the things that a professional or the real, because you said there are some fakes, what the real would do is to train himself, attend programs, you know, pay for courses, pay for coaching, yes, to develop and to build himself or herself. So when I see a motivational speaker or an inspirational speaker, I want to see how consistent you have been. I want to see the kind of trainings, the kind of programs you attend. You see somebody say, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a public speaker, and he has never paid for a conference. He has never even paid for a coach. Yes. So those are the two main things that I would say, you know, can determine. And then your lifestyle. Your lifestyle. Because to be a motivational speaker, like we were saying, your life, your experience gives more weight. Yes. So if you're living what you are saying, if you're living out what you're telling me on social media, I will say, okay, you are somebody, or you are actually doing what you are telling us. Okay. Yes. So consistency, personal development, yes, and then experience, living out what you're dishing out.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Betula, any other tips on how to identify the fake ones?
Yeah, there's the difference between doing a lot of, because somebody can be consistent with copy and paste.
Okay.
Yes, you can copy and paste every day. That's consistency now. Sure. So what Pastor and Male are saying is that when somebody reads your content, the person is able to identify that, because when you are an inspirational, motivational speaker, I don't really know about whoever you are, there's something you download every time, like in your mind. Problems like that, I always think that problems it's like they fall on roofs like rain, and then solutions to fall on roofs like rain, and people begin to download. You see, sometimes you're thinking of how to do a particular, I'm thinking of how to do a particular design. Before I know it, I see it on somebody, which means that idea was falling like rain and somebody acted on it faster than myself. Now, when I read his content, sometimes something that was running through my mind like a question, I get it from what he has written. For him, for example, to have written to a list of his contacts for 1 year, 3 months. That's serious. Because for you to be consistent is not easy. Especially if you are consistent with what you are experiencing, or what you have to do studies and tell people all this and that. So it's not really. Now, there are some people who, like you say, if you go to their pages, it's funny. It's really funny because you cannot say you're encouraging people and you're unable to. Sometimes just a test, you come in contact with one of such people and you have a little clash, you hear the way they respond to you, and then you begin to wonder how somebody wrote a beautiful content on conflict management that you don't need somebody to scratch your toe. So, like I say, it's difficult to really live it if you don't discipline yourself. If you do not bring that subject, your body, under the ideas of your mind, the positive proposals of your mind, there is no way you're going to impact somebody's life. So it's easier because all of us are living in a small world. If you're fake, the people around you, like we are calling, when I was just asking him, he said he has been reading about me. We have met in 2-3 places. Yes, he has been seeing me on Facebook. So now, if you're seeing me on Facebook, it's possible that in the next minute, somebody said that the distance between one person and another in this whole wide world is just 6 persons. It's 6 persons. So it means that even if you are seeing me that I'm writing from Asia, you are just 6 persons away from me. To get the information concerning me is not difficult. Someday we are going to meet somewhere and I'll expect you. I'll be expecting you that I've been looking up to. Yeah, the way you greet, the way you do your presentations. And so when you do them, people around you, they know that you're fake. So whether you copy and do the paste or you do what, it's better. If you're beginning and doing the copy, it's better for you to train yourself. It's better. If you really love it, train yourself on that. There are a lot of courses, there are a lot of people who even offer free trainings. So make yourself available. But then there are a lot of fake people too.
Right.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Just to add up to what they've said already, I mean, they've almost exhausted. But then let me just add this to say that most people, not just inspirational or motivational speakers, most people know what they do, but they do not know why they do what they do. That's a litmus test for anybody who calls, themselves a motivational or inspirational speaker. I mean, you do motivational speaking. Why? That's why I always refer people to the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek. It's an easy test to catch someone who is doing it for ulterior motives than the original motive.
Okay.
Why would I say I want to inspire people? My why is simple. I want to help people to move from point A to point B, adding value, developing the skills that they will need, living a better life. I will look at your profile, or I always do this competition, but not really competition. I always do this post. How many books you read per month while I was in Congo. So you cannot be a speaker, a public speaker, a motivational speaker, without reading books.
Exactly.
And the quality and kind of books that people read determines where they get the information and how they use that information. So personally, like I said, I ask you, why do you do what you're doing? And if you don't give me a good answer, some people will do it because of copy and paste. Okay. It's easy. They have a site where they can easily pick and paste. Some people do it just for the likes, just because I want people to come to my page. The dopamine effect of having so many likes on my page, my Facebook page. But then, someone who is doing it on purpose, who has a mission to help show others the light, to help move from point A to point B, to help better of their lives, will definitely have, the authenticity. Will definitely, and such people as well, who always have the quest for knowledge, read books, attend seminars. Believe me, between 2018 and 2020, I spent over 300,000 francs CFA on online certificates, attending conferences. The last one was in South Africa, which unfortunately Corona came in. So from their profile, it's easy to detect.
All right.
You wouldn't come to my page and see, or you wouldn't come to someone's page and see pictures that has nothing to do with your purpose, with your intention.
Yeah.
You cannot be a journalist and on your page I see, pictures of people partying. I expect there's that correlation.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. Now, while we're talking about the reasons, so do we mean, trying to understand and for the viewers to understand, that somebody, because nowadays there are superstar motivational speakers around the world and they are millionaires and getting to the billions. So would you say someone who decides to become a motivational speaker because they want to make the millions, they want to make the billions, and they want to become a star, and they put in the work into the arts and they are good and they make the money, would you say that's a bad motivational speaker because the original purpose was not to inspire persons? Because his original purpose was to make money. I'm throwing it out there. Does it make the person a bad motivational speaker?
I think not necessarily.
Okay.
The point is the outcome. The outcome. Like I said, the why. And if your why has the results that your why produces, that is what matters. You know.
The results.
The results.
Okay.
If that person can succeed in helping the multitude live from a place of dejection to a place of happiness, if that person can help people see life better, can bring joy, can add value to people's lives, okay? To me personally, it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
What matters most is the outcome. If you are able to transform, to help people transform their lives, add value to their lives. But personally, it's like money is a secondary motive,
okay,
and the fame.
All right. So it's the outcome.
It's the outcome personally.
So what if it's the agent of copy and paste who is making people happy? So everybody's happy then.
I think there's nothing. Everything you want to do, this aspect of motive, comes in.
Okay.
The life you live, whatever you want to do, the aspect of motive comes in. Now, for you to be successful in anything you want to do, the reason for which you want to do that thing must be very powerful, to be able to carry you for the period of time that you have set your goals. If your reason is weak at some point, you're going to leave it. Now, if let me say I've seen somebody who is a billionaire because he's a motivational speaker, and I want to be like that person, right? I want to make a living out of it. It's not bad. It's my job. It's not bad. Now, if people are not getting the impact, why would they be following me? Why would they even be there? So for you to make millions out of motivational speaking, you must be a very smart person. Okay. Because the content you post, the books you read, the seminars you attend, that's what we're talking about, all these trainings. Sometimes people follow you because of that. That's not even sometimes. People follow you, and when you don't write, they come and ask you why you have not written. Why did you not write? For some time now, we have not been reading from you. And you start looking for what to write. Now, for somebody who at the level of somebody wants to, that the person's primary aim is to get millions, there's no problem. Where do you want the person to get a job from? If you don't want to follow the person, don't follow. But if you see that it's helping you, you follow. When you follow, as you're improving yourself, you're improving the person. That's just it. It's network marketing.
Right. Now, there's another group of persons on social media, especially, who motivate. I'm going to put that in brackets because some, I'm not saying all. Let me use an example. It's easier to understand that way. Hush Puppy, who still is very much recognized. He was a billionaire, you know, and it was just recently discovered, for example, that he was a criminal, he was into fraud, you know, scamming. But he was motivating and people were following. But the source of his riches, from what we know so far, was not from honest means. To say that there are these people out there, some, on social media who get their money from doing one kind of thing, and they come on air on social media and say, I got my money from hard work, so you too work hard and you're going to make it. And people believe them, people listen to them, they have a huge following on social media. In this case, aren't we being misled? Aren't we being played by these supposed motivational speakers? And you cannot tell who is doing what. They all carry the name, the title of motivational speaker.
Manda, I think in every aspect of life, in every profession, there are those type of people. Okay. There are not only motivational speakers. You go to the teaching field, you have people who collect, when schools will soon resume, you have people who collect huge sums of money from parents. Right. You see that they are rich. But other teachers who are doing their work decently, they know that you have to pay fees and all the like. You go to the hospitals, there are medical doctors that extort, and others are doing their work. So now, if you come to what I'm interested in a motivational speaker is the content. That part that he goes and extorts money or scams, he doesn't put that on Facebook, right?
Of course, never.
Sorry, he doesn't put that on his page.
No one ever talks about that.
Good. Yeah. So until he was followed up, because what happens is that at a certain point when his bank accounts are so swollen, then they still begin to find out, is it just this? And you see, they discover that since he has a sweet tongue, he can actually get people, give him what he wants to get from. Yeah, that's it. But then it also comes to caution us, those of us who are followers, that as much as the motivational speaker has a reason for doing what he's doing, you should have a reason for following him or her. You should not just follow, because some people have become very good followers.
Yeah.
You follow this person, you follow this one, you follow this one, you follow this one. You don't know why you're following, like Bante was saying. Excuse me. You don't know why you're following. You just need to you just follow. So you don't just be a follower. At some point,
be a student.
Yeah, when you are a student, you need to also grow.
Learn from here, learn from here.
And then you do something. You don't just follow. So that at some point, because when you are learning, like saying as a student, at some point you begin to get the differences between them.
Yeah.
There's some language. Sometimes when I see those pages I like online, when they start sending mails they start sending mails, the language you read will tell you that this person is a scammer. The language is so artificial that somebody will tell you that in 30 seconds you can get this number of millions and all the like. And if you keep following because you want to get there, it means that you wanted to get into that soup. So you need to be really careful.
Okay.
The language that they speak.
All right.
Yes.
So we all have a responsibility. We have to be careful about whom we decide to follow. Now, let me make this clear. My questions are not necessarily a reflection of my personal opinions on the subject. It is just so that we get more clarification into what motivational speaking is all about. Now, let's talk about how to become a motivational speaker, the training. How do you become a motivational speaker? Because some people think that once you make a few 100,000, you are good to go. You can start inspiring people. I have made $1 million, I've made 2 million, so you're a motivational speaker. What kind of training is necessary for anyone who wants to pick up motivational or inspirational speaking as a profession? Let me start with you, Favor.
Okay, under motivational speaking, we have different aspects. We have personal development coaches, we have leadership trainers, we have business coaches
youth
and
leaders,
youth leaders. So based on or depending on your area of specialty, you would choose a training in that light. For example, I do leadership trainings. I had a passion for that, and I went in to do a master's in leadership studies.
Okay.
Yes, so that's one of my main areas. I looked for a leadership school and I was trained in that.
Okay, no adverts intended, but where? In case someone's watching and they're interested and would like to go to that school.
Yes, I did that in the International Leadership University, Cameroon.
Okay.
It's in Yaoundé.
All right.
Yes, International Leadership University.
All right.
Yes, that was where I did my training. There are business schools. There are business schools for those who want to get into business and stuff like that. You have the internet where you can find online courses based on your field. Like I'm saying, you have different or sub areas under motivational speaking. There are some who are just good motivating youth. There are some for women, and we have special courses online and in schools that you can build yourself from there. Yes.
Right. Now, Mbale, I know you went through quite a number of these trainings and conferences. What was it like for you?
Well, to begin with, I think those conferences came later on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think me getting into inspirational speaking and personal development coaching, my experience, first of all, was the first teacher. My experiences in life was the very first teacher, all the things I went through and so on and so forth. And if you look at my life, there are certain skills you need to become a motivational or an inspirational speaker. The very first, communication. You may have the good content, but you do not know how to communicate it. That's a problem. So, here's my story. I had to get into journalism. Went to the University of Boya, worked for several outfits out here in Cameroon, and then I acquired and gained that communication skill. That's the first thing. For me, that's my case. The certificates came later on. And then after that, then I realized that, when I speak, people listen. I can convince people with my charisma, with my character. So from communication skill, character building came in. Value addition came in. Before I knew it, I was already practicing personal development coaching, even before I had to take those online courses. So it could differ. Someone could be interested, they go to school, they get the skills, and they start practicing. But my case was almost the reverse. I got the skills through my professional training, as well as other personal, value-adding activities which I did before getting the online training. And so it makes it very easy for me personally, and I think it's a route which anybody can follow, depending on your background.
Okay, and for people who to whom it happened to, I'd like to say that, I mean, in your case when you were recounting to us, Spectola, but how you found out from others that you were actually motivating. So did you go back to get any kind of training on the subject, or?
A lot.
Okay,
a lot.
All right, tell us about it.
Yeah, I've attended Mogi Global Leadership School in Nigeria. I've got a scholarship with a leadership training school in Nigeria with women that I'm still undergoing. I'm into Finding XY, Uganda.
Okay.
And Futaba University actually offered me a scholarship.
Wow.
Yeah.
For Futaba University, we're going to take a second to talk about Futaba University, which is here, the city of Douala, run by an amazing woman, Futaba Elmin.
Yes.
Yeah, inspirational too. She's been training and trying to raise as many young Cameroonians and women in particular as possible. At this very moment, she's running a program to help youths for free learn leadership. Actually, the subject of today.
I wasn't even supposed to be there right now because there's a program going on there for how to use your phone and what to
make professional videos. My little sister was telling me about that.
So she's been doing a lot, and I really want to say thank you. She doesn't even know the life she's touching. Now, when I had an opportunity, there's something. Life usually gives you an opportunity wrapped in obstacles. Yeah. And if you do not understand that, you will go far below your standard. I mean, you start complaining, you start blaming, you keep crying. But if you just get to see the beam of light in that darkness, you hold on to it, you want to find out why this thing happened and how you can come out of it, then your quest for knowledge will increase. Yeah, it's going to increase, and then you start asking people. Sometimes it's very difficult to just go online and know what to do. But when you are going through, like me as a young girl, like there have been many things have happened. A lot of things have happened. So when I'm teaching or I am discussing with somebody, when I talk, some people think that I'm a grandmother, or I necessarily grow not grandmother, old or great grandmother, because some things happened to me that I needed to be resilient. And the resilience is very painful. At some point, I succeeded. At some point, I failed. At some point, I needed to try again. At some point, I gave up. So when these things happen from childhood, as you're growing up, and you struggle, because I said something that your reason should be very strong. Who do you want to become? You need to build an image for yourself. Like, who does Spectola want to be when she's 50? How do you want people to look at you at 50 years? What category of people will you be talking to when you be 50? Now, before then, if you have to set, let's say, a short-term goals, and you need to achieve them. If your reason, the reason why you want to do that thing is not strong enough, the challenges will take you off the rail. Now, when you keep on, that is what brings in the training. Because I read from a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that wherever...
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes, Robert Kiyosaki says, wherever you discover that you're ignorant, train yourself. And the only part in life that you're supposed to be ignorant is when you concern something that you don't need, that's not useful for you. This is your direction, this is your focus. If this is not part of your focus, that's the part that you should be ignorant, you leave it. But once you need it, so he even advises that you should know a little bit of everything than much on one thing, on something. So now when now you have a path carved out, and with that image you have built for yourself, you have put somewhere, and each time you come across an obstacle, you try to look for that small beam of light. You try to look of that positive thing. Even in all the negativity, there's always a positive thing. So I'm saying that even in front of any Goliath, there's always a little David. Try to look for it. What comes in now is you discover that this mountain like this, I'm ignorant of how to climb this mountain. How do I climb it? You start looking for people, you start looking for content, books, trainings, and you see by the time you're finished or you're completing one training, you see the doors just open. you have already climbed the mountain. Maybe it was just one little thing you were neglecting. So I think that life itself presents to us very many opportunities for us to train ourselves. And then before you know it, you're using your experience to encourage other people. If I tell you now that, for example, like we were talking about the fact that I'm a youth trainer, you know, I didn't even know I was doing that. But it's because when I meet a group of youths, even when I was teaching in classroom, we always talked about acquiring skills, because our system of education, especially the general education for Anglophones, does not really give us a guarantee. You see, you study like that, and so there's a need for us to bring the outside world and the classroom together so that we can be able to grow. So I always did that. And one day I asked myself, I have a daughter who is 18 years old presently. If now I'm telling other people on how to acquire skills, then my own daughter does not have a skill, how will I tell you? It means there's no proof. So I needed to start think of how to break that storm. You know, it's difficult to teach your own child, to make your own child understand. Other people's children is very easy, but your own children. So I started with them. You see, you started like that, and there are days that we attend online courses together. We sit like this, all of us, on financial intelligence, on budgeting, on this, on that. We sit there, and when it's time to put down the expenses and the how do I say it? Expenditure and income, I tell them, you are eating bread and chocolate, write it. You will compare it with mama's income. I don't want to believe that that's own. I assume that I'm the lone person thinking of that. I say, okay, look at the difference. If we continue like this, can we make it? So I'm really introducing into their heads that there's a need for this. And so if you want, when they'll be mature, it will not be any problem for them to attend an online course. They'll need to seek for solutions. So life itself presents those to us. Whether you like it or not, it is you must undergo a training. It's even biblical. There's nobody that has succeeded without training. Either you're training formally or informally, whether you are in a dry pit training how to stay without food like Joseph, or you're in a prison, or you're in the bush like David fighting lions, you must undergo a training. So whether you like it or not, life itself presents us with those obstacles, and God does that so that we should grow. It's very important. So if you don't want to grow, okay, you don't like obstacles, you don't want this, your lifestyle and all those things now, then adding to what Bale said, now you need communication skills. Because sometimes you have a lot of knowledge, you don't know what to tell people. Depending on the audience, depending on the kind of problem, you need a certain language. So now you can go in for the communication programs, yes, which one to train yourself on so that you know how to talk to people. So I don't want to say that women are so lucky these days. I just did a write-up. I said, in these very days where we don't need to move, because some of us had wanted to go to school, but there was no way. Now internet just came. The way I study, sometimes I don't apply. They tell me I apply for a course. They say it's for 35 years. I apply. Whether they tell me or not, I apply. He made me a yearly symposium. I was not 35 years, but they took me there because when they asked me questions, they saw the intention, what you want to do with youth or with women or with this. They take you. When they take you like that, they now start proposing training programs every time. When you attend, they can even use you. When programs are coming, you just see people are contacting you. Can you train for this? So life itself presents those opportunities to us.
Right. Now, regardless of the fact that the best motive is to motivate, to help people move from one point to another, a fact still remains, which is you need to put food on your table. So how do motivational speakers make their money? How? I'm going to start with you, Faithful.
Yes. Through helping people achieve their goals, you know, bring income to you. I'll put it this way. Impact.
Okay.
Impact will always bring income to you. You know, when you impact somebody, when you help somebody achieve, let me say, 1 million francs, or you help somebody succeed, at times you might not even need to give a fee. The person comes back to you. Thank you, you helped me. Secondly, when people discover that your speaking really inspires them or blesses them, You can, okay, I'll organize this conference and I'll put a fee. When people trust your training, no matter the amount, some will go the extra mile to pay.
Right.
Yes. So you will be able to put food on your table when you truly impact. Yes, you have income, you have impact, you have influence, and you have income. When you impact people, you have an influence over them. Or you influence people and you impact them, income will definitely come. Yes. So motivational speakers can put food on their table when they are dishing out content that really blesses people. Yes. You see a lot of conferences these days, and I bet you'll be surprised to know that people pay huge sums of money to attend conferences. I've traveled to Douala, I have paid conferences in Yaoundé. And where is that money going to? To the motivational speaker. Some people say, what are they doing? They just talk. Cameroonians believe that when you give money, they should give you a tangible something. But knowledge is very valuable. Some people say you cannot buy, you can't buy knowledge. But knowledge has a price. And you can pay for that. You can pay for that. So when you are making sense, people will pay to get that sense. Right. And when people pay to get that sense, definitely you have food on your table. So when you impact people, income will definitely come.
Okay. Bale?
Yeah, I think personally my case is a little different because I first of all go for the value, the impact. And then, like I said, money comes in as like a byproduct. Even in the Bible, I think it is mentioned somewhere that to be great, you have to be of service to the multitude. Impact so many people. Help people solve their problem. You realize your own problem disappears. Try it, it works. So, like Tibu says, the impact first of all. And then secondly, personally, I'm getting into business. And my business is so simple. I'm selling something very basic. But then I'm not just selling water, for example. I'm inspiring people to drink water for their own health benefits, first of all. So that's the impact. I'm impacting you to be conscious of the fact that water is good for your health. By then I gain your trust, and then I can do business with you. So most motivational speakers, I'm talking about people like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, they get over $100,000 for a 1-hour speech. That's over 50 million francs CFA. But it comes with time, like I said. It comes with influence. It comes with consistency. It comes with the ability to serve the multitude.
Okay, so would you say then that for those who are starting out in the profession, motivational speakers should have another job aside, speaking as a professional or being a motivational speaker? Should they keep like a side job in the meantime while waiting to get to the point where they can really rally a crowd? And should they have another job?
They should, okay. Because like I said, it comes with time. You don't expect to get into the industry in 2018, in 2020, and you expect to start making money immediately. No, you need to build a brand. You need to build confidence. You need to build an influence, a community in some cases. People need to be able to look up to you for solutions, and that comes with time. It doesn't depend on how good you look. Nope. Depends on how influential, how much you can help people see the better side of themselves. Then they're going to rush to you. Then they're going to pay money to attend your trainings and your teachings. So it's always advisable. It's always advisable. I was a journalist in Congo, but I was still doing public speaking jobs, and the two went side by side because my profession added to my value as a public speaker. Right. So it's always advisable to have something by the corner.
All right. And Betula?
Yeah, if you are a motivational speaker and you want to get money from it, you need to be very visionary. You need to be time conscious. What is going on now? And you propose the solutions of what is going on now. For example, there's a course I designed. I was teaching how to sell during lockdown. when we were in a lockdown. And before I knew it, there were people from Britain, Germany, they were attending the course. And they were telling me, I was doing for 1,000 francs. They were telling me that they were even telling me it's very cheap. But the problem is, you don't want people to, it's just I want somebody to know that knowledge is not free, like that's what I was saying. Yeah, so from now on, you step ahead. Now, in that course, there's one of the points that I usually say you need to offer more. You need to offer more. So, when you are a motivational speaker and at the same time a business person, you need to offer more. And the offering more leads you to be a better motivational speaker. You tell, like what he's saying about the water, he doesn't just sell water, he tells you the value. What does water do? That one, what he's doing, he doesn't sell his water more expensive than other people. But now he has offered more by telling you the importance of water, and water you're supposed to take it, the effects on your body and all the like. So if you're a motivational speaker, you don't just speak because people need, it's true that it might motivate 1, 2, 3 persons, but what is actually going on now? What is going on in my environment, in my community now? Could it be that somebody is hungry and I'm telling the person about a football match? You see, he wouldn't have a place. Could it be that somebody is sick and of this, and could it be that people want to lose weight and you're telling them about fashion designing? So the content should be able to suit what you're trying to address, the audience you're speaking to. Yeah, what you are saying should actually suit them at that time. So you need to know what to tell them. If you look at those people who are making great millions out of it, if you look at what they write, most often it's global. It can be used everywhere. The information can be used everywhere. But sometimes because we don't want to go further, we limit ourselves to what is happening to you, just to you, or around you. So you need to also find out what is going on. So I think that it's possible for you to really make money from motivational speaking. You want to take it as a profession. But if you want to, somebody like me, it's coming like secondary. Yes, it's secondary. That's what I experienced, then I talk about it. What I experienced, I talk about it. It's difficult for me to speak about something that I've not experienced. So that's how I'm trying to build my profile. Yeah. So from there, you could use it. Somebody else could use it now. Because like the book I wrote, if you read it, it's my story from childhood to just when I had an accident. And I titled it The Accident. So when you read the book, you see my life to just when I had it. Then when I want to write about the accident too, it'll be from there till now. My experiences. When you have that, somebody now will read that book who doesn't know me, and it will inspire the person. And you can use, you're free to use the examples, but make sure you're using them in a situation that suits. Because sometimes the quotes don't match with the people saying, yeah, that's it. Right.
Well, you definitely understand this, Favor. You're an author yourself. We'll talk about that a little more before the end of the show. Now, I would like for us to discuss how social media has helped to boost, the sector of motivational speaking. In Cameroon, you're on social media, you're on Facebook. Favor, how have you been exploiting social media to put yourself out there?
Yes, it's a very powerful tool for this industry. Yes, people spend most of their time on social media. So it's a very good platform I've been using. Yes, I post write-ups, and with likes and shares, I've been able to reach so many people. I've even I took an online course, a conference on building a reputable Facebook account, because it's not just about using Facebook, but using it professionally, because it's the new CV. Many people use social media now to see if you are qualified. Yeah. For example, when I was applying for the Yali Ghana, we were asked to put our Facebook address. Why were they asking? They wanted to see if we are actually using or we are actually impacting. And I was taken for the Yali program. I'm actually doing a course. So it has really helped me not just to get many more likes, but to even get admission into the prestigious Yali training. An opportunity. Yes, I got an opportunity because I post content daily that inspires the followers I have, that inspires the friends I have on Facebook. Yes, I do Mind a podcast weekly, and after each podcast, I will put on my Facebook profile, on my Facebook page, and it has really been good. It has made me have new friends, new contacts. I've met so many people just because I posted something and it inspired them. They got to me inbox. I have had people share my articles, my write-ups, and people got to me because of the social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all the like. I've been able to have so amazing people just because they saw what I was posting. There's a man of God in Boya who wants, in Mutengen, who wants us to do a program. Why? He just went through my profile.
Okay.
And I was like, when he saw my book, he placed his order even before I printed. And going to Boya last week, I gave his copy. That was my first time of meeting him. Mm-hmm. But just because he saw me on social media, he saw what I was doing, he knew that this book will have something good because of what I have been posting.
Right.
So social media has really been of great importance and a great push to me in this industry and as a writer. And
you totally agree, Batola?
Of course. As a woman, I don't know, there are really most women that use their smartphones just for chats and that. I really want to call on the women. There are a lot of opportunities online for women. I saw what the Cameroon government proposed for entrepreneurs, though I wasn't really qualified because I hadn't had it. They wanted people to write projects and bring, especially women and those who are living with physical disabilities. You can imagine how many of us women were even available, and we are the first people to lament. So when you're already a woman, you have children, it's difficult for you to move from one place to another to further your studies. When you have family. So with social media, I've really had a lot of opportunities. Now, apart from the studies I've been doing, the scholarships are already listed, I've met a lot of great people. Now, my circle of friends has changed, so I don't discuss, we go to the market, no, this and that. Now I discuss like a change maker.
Yeah.
I discuss like somebody who, like an entrepreneur who sees a problem and tries to solve it. Now I'm having like, let me just say there's the Joe of Boya. His Excellency Abba Abdurrahman Abba. He gave like the award he gave to us. Like, he selected us like change makers. He gave us awards for what we have been doing. This I didn't even know, and he gave us so now when we can get into his school, Resort Institute here at Aqua Palace. So he has a great institute there, talking about the mind and all that. So be surprised, people like Mike Oladipo, even Joy Burt, they have been. Yeah. So there are a lot of change makers, and once you start taking courses, that is when you meet change makers, and then they add you to their groups. Then you see what they have been doing. You see the trainings that are coming up. You see the ones that suit you. Even if you don't know the one that suits you, you can write to them that this is what I really want to do. They'll advise you on which course to take at a particular time, and before you know it, like Pastor is saying, I got a call from She's Skilled. That they want me to, Itaka
Edia.
Yes.
I had the pleasure of receiving on
That's
the
it.
diary. Yeah.
So you see the flyer. I was so surprised when they put us on the flyer. I'm supposed to train with Madame Futaba, Japhne Joybird, and I asked her that how could you put me on this with all these people that have been sitting in their class. So you see, social media, it's a place. It's a marketplace, and I can't even tell you how much I've sold on social media. Yeah, moving from above to Marford Designs. There are a lot of people that have seen my work online, and they have been writing. I've been doing work for them, sending abroad, sending even in Cameroon. Yeah. So I really sell online, like what the course, how to sell during a lockdown. I really sold during the lockdown. So
by the way, she's wearing one of her designs.
Yeah.
Before the end of the show, she'll tell you how you can get in touch with her.
Designs.
We don't have so much time. Mbale, your opinion on the question?
Well, I personally do not very much use social media for now.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to build up content.
Okay.
I mean, serious content that will be mind-blowing.
All right.
So I prefer to go on the ground. For example, last week I was in Boya to do a presentation on the Pan-African Youth Conference that was organized by some gentlemen in Boya, and Joy Betu was there. He gave a fantastic presentation. And tomorrow, Sunday, I'll still be in Boya, the Breathe Community Youths. They are organizing a leadership training, and I've been invited as a spokesperson. So I don't like putting things out there.
Just yet.
Personally, yeah, just yet.
Okay.
But I do on the ground. I make sure I touch lives directly. But take nothing away from it. Social media, it's a powerful tool. If you know how to use it, it scales you up.
Right.
If you don't know how to use it, it brings you down. So, yeah, that's my
Your view on
on how I use social media as a public speaker. But like I said, I always send daily messages via WhatsApp.
Okay, right. Now I'd like to take the last couple of minutes on the show to talk about my guest, because I like to know what you're into, people to get in contact with you, reach out to you. So I'm going to stay with you, Mbale. You're not very much on social media when it comes to your motivational speaking, but like you said, you've been on the ground. Now, if someone wants to reach out to you, or they want to invite you for a conference, or want to talk to you, how do they get to you?
You can get me on my Facebook page, Philemon Mbale. Don't be scared. I mean, it doesn't look like that of a motivational speaker, maybe. It looks more of a journalist. And also on Instagram, I could, you could reach me there. And of course, you could ring my line.
Your account on Instagram?
On Instagram, Philemon Mbale. Philemon Mbale everywhere, Philemon Mbale everywhere. But I have this little message just to pass on. And I think I should talk into the camera directly.
Okay.
The first question I have for those watching us is why? Why read the books? Why add value to your life? Why go to the seminars? Why become more focused, disciplined? Why get the communication skills? And then the second question is why not? Why not get the skills so that you could add value to your life, you could make life better? Why not read the books so that you get more knowledge? There are books on how to live with another person, books on marriage, books on financial independence, yet we don't read. So the third question is why not now? And finally, why not you? I think inspirational speaking, motivational speaking is just one part of it. Now we start moving into personal development, and I think that is where the magic is. And so, like I said, you can contact me for personal development coaching anywhere, any day, anytime. Right.
You know what to do. Just find him on social media. Now to Petula B. Madam Petula B. How can our nice televiewers get in touch with you? And what are you able to help them with?
Okay. On social media, on Facebook, Petula B, Mafo Designs. On Instagram, Mafo Designs 237. You can call me +237 674 594260. That's also WhatsApp.
You can just repeat that. It's important.
+237 674 594260. You could write. And I think there are some programs that are coming up, some wonderful programs. Especially, I'll always call on my women. Get yourself trained. So you need to. There's Go Mother is coming up, organized by Olaf Jisong. You can contact me. I'll give you details. Go and make a difference. There is She's Skilled. They're organizing a training, and you can contact me. They're wonderful trainers. They're coming up from the 10th of August. I'm going to give you all the details. You have Mogi Global Leadership School, how to build a reputable Facebook account by Nebapo Azimi, and how to write content by Benoit Yuven. All those are coming. There are a lot of things that will help you out with. So just contact me. We're going to give you more.
Right, and you continue to recommend Futaba University.
Futaba University,
open for admissions, by the way.
Yes, and there are a lot of scholarships.
Yes.
After this, I need to go there. Use how to use my
your phone to
do short videos.
Exactly.
That one.
You can also contact them on social media. Funique. Just check Funique Cameroon on Facebook, and you'll be able to come in contact with them.
Please do that. Yes.
Now to Fongu Favor. Now I invited you on my show when I came into contact with your book. You are actually the reason why I decided to do this show on motivational speaking, because I wanted to meet those motivational speakers. and talk with them and understand. And thankfully, we made this happen, and I have learned more. So you have this book out,
Yes.
Mind Shift,
Yes.
and you say it's a tool for personal growth and success. So what do people pick out of this book if they decide to buy it?
Yes, in this book you will find content that will help you build the right mindset and develop the right attitudes needed for success. You know, everything starts at the level of the mind. Yes, the mind, your life is a reflection of your mind. So in this book I have written so well. I did not hurry.
Okay.
Yes, I took my time to put together this content. It will help you. You know, the world, looking around, there are a lot of things that will make us want to give up. Yes, the external environment, everything just shows that life is very difficult. Things might not be the way you think. So you need to build a very strong mentality if you must succeed. So this book is a very practical book of your mind for success.
Okay.
Yes, you learn practical steps in building a success mindset. And not just that, you need the right attitudes. You know, there are attitudes like esteem. That people have very low self-esteem, and it affects their relationships, and life is about relationships. So this book will help you build a healthy self-esteem. So many people think good self-esteem is pride, and some people think low self-esteem is humility. They are not. So in this book you find the difference between pride and good self-esteem. Yes, so it's a very practical book that will help you. You know, the chapter 3 of the book has been trending. You know, many people love the chapter 3, the intentionality factor.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yes, a lot of people know how to complain and know how to shift blames. But blames never solve problems. So the chapter 3 of this book will help you, will deliver you from the blame game mentality. Yes, it will deliver you. You know, you see an elder brother blaming the younger brother for not supporting him. That's why he's where he is. That's so.
Yeah, very typical.
Yeah, it's very typical. They blame everybody for their level.
Except themselves.
Except themselves. Thank you. So this book will shift your mind to take responsibility and to make results.
Right.
Yes, on Facebook I am Fongu Favor. I am the pastor of Rama Christian Center.
Okay.
Etuti Yaoundé. I serve under Rama Paswara Solomon in Bamenda. That's my senior pastor. And I'm also building a consultancy, Mindshift Consultancy. Like I said, leadership is my passion. I've been, you know, before I did the formal training, my master's in leadership has been talking on that. Yeah. So Mindshift Consultancy, I'm still building it. You can follow us on Facebook, Mindshift Consultancy. It's a leadership training. It's a personal development coaching consultancy. Where we help people build the right mindset needed for success.
So I see volume 1. Is there going to be volume 2?
Definitely.
Right.
And to add, it's already on Amazon. So you can have it on Amazon. Mindshift, a tool for personal growth and success. Yes, you can get it in Bamenda at Goshen Bookshop, Small Mancon. And in Yaoundé, you can place your orders through my Facebook account, Fongu Favor, or through the Mindshift Consultancy Facebook page.
Manda, please. Okay, please. I forgot to say that the program that is coming up, I'll be the one designing for Go Mad. For in fact, the speakers. And even the one organized by Cameroon Association of Professionals, I'll be designing for. I design for Joybird. So what he puts on,
that's super.
Yeah, so I'm there. I design for a lot of people, so I'll be designing for them. So even if you don't attend for anything, attend to see the design.
So that is taking it up. We're leaving now, and the book costs how much?
It's 2,500 francs. That's $5 only. Only.
Right. So you know what to do. You know how to contact him and everybody else. Thank you so much. It has been an inspirational show, has it not? Well, come back next week for another interesting subject. You take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.